What I have here is the Symphonium Giant, priced at $700. Symphonium is not vocal about the kind of drivers, exact number of drivers they have used, but this is a hybrid IEM with BA drivers. So I'm assuming it has 2 or 3 BA drivers and 1 dynamic driver. Okay, Symphonium is never vocal about the exact type of drivers they have used, but this is definitely interesting in my opinion. I'm not exactly sure how this one is packed, but I believe this is the IEM here. Let's have a look at it. Okay, let's unbox the Giant, priced at $700. It uses some proprietary technology, FAT and True X technology, bold, textured, dynamic, own your sound. Very simple kind of packaging. I like this, nothing fancy. Let's open it up. Now, if I'm not wrong, Symphonium has been using the OE audio cables with this one. I might be wrong, but I'm assuming to be precise. Okay, modular cables. No, nice looking cables to be precise. Slightly shiny. I don't mind, to be precise. These are the earpieces here. Made out of metal, but these are very lightweight, very lightweight, very lightweight. I believe these are made out of aviation grade aluminium. Very lightweight and interesting kind of pattern on the back plate. No cable guides. That's a great thing in my opinion. No cable guides. 4.4 mm termination here. There's a cleaning tool. I don't need that. I'll put that in the box. Let's have a look at the tips we are getting. Oh, interesting. There is a small carry pouch too. Very interesting in my opinion. I'm not exactly sure what this is. Is it a set of ear tape or something? No, this is just a dehumidifier. Nothing fancy. Okay. This is the 3.5 mm module and some generic kind of ear tips, nothing fancy. These are slightly wider bore ear tips and I'm going to use this. Let me put this back in. Nothing fancy to be precise. They have not used any extra kind of packaging material or anything like that. It's very minimal when it comes to the packaging, but I like it. I do not think that I do not like this or anything like that. So it's decent in my opinion. I'll include the initial impression within this video. So this is the unboxing of Symphonium Giant. This is the initial impression of Symphonium Giant. Now this one is the latest mid-range IEM from Symphonium. Yes, $700 is not exactly a mid-range to be precise, but yeah, you can say it's a upper mid-range kind of price range. Another thing that I would like to have your attention with is the cable. This is not exactly their stock cable here. This is the Litmus 2W cable priced at $270. So this initial impression, or you can say the review, will not be a stock review to be precise. So this is an upgrade cable, fairly expensive at $270. So the sound quality is not exactly same as the stock Giant to be precise. This is a OCC copper cable and the stock cable is a OE audio cable. So yeah, the differences are that definitely. So the combined price of this cable and the IEM is fairly at $950. So you guys can imagine this is going closer to $1,000, but I will review it as a $700 IEM in any case. If we talk about the cable, if we just talk about the cable, this is not a very well behaved cable to be precise. Okay, it has some memory issues. You guys can see it holds shape. It has some memory issues. You guys can see how unruly this is. It doesn't have a lot of control. Okay, to be precise, it's very memory prone. Even though this one doesn't have cable, guys, these cores are not exactly well behaved. So even though this is an expensive cable, this is their most expensive cable to be precise, it isn't a well behaved cable. And yes, the lack of cable guides is slightly more comforting, but I'm not thrilled with this cable. In any case, if we start talking about the build quality, I really like the build. It is fairly comfortable inside the ear. No issues with fit or anything like that. I'm not exactly sure what kind of drivers they have used, but it seems there is one dynamic driver and some BA drivers. I hope more than two, maybe three BA drivers, but it is fairly voluminous. You guys can see the shell is fairly voluminous here, and the nozzle is aptly long. It's not the longest to be precise, but has good enough depth to it. No issues with stability or anything like that. If we start talking about the sound quality, okay, sound quality is not the biggest priority of this IEM. Okay, it is tuned for a musical, fun and fatigue free kind of presentation, and that is what this IEM is offering. Okay, let me be very clear. It is not tuned for details, clarity or a lot of transparency to be precise. We are getting very good sub bass extension, very good sub bass rumble. No issues with the rumbles or body of sub bass notes at all. Mid bass is a bit more voluminous. It's a bassy IEM. Let me be very clear. It's a bassy, fun, warm sounding IEM throughout the spectrum. So there is weight behind the notes. Okay, mid bass notes have very good amount of weight, very good area of impact. They have nice layered delivery too. No issues with the movement of air either, and the notes kind of explode in every direction, so they have very good feel to them. So the punch and the slam is very airy. It kind of feels very complete to be precise. DK is a bit on the slower side. Upper bass notes are reasonably clean. They are not the cleanest, but they have good amount of control and they are reasonably clean. I will not say that they are the cleanest, definitely, but they offer the right amount of control to them. If we start talking about the mid-range, that is why it kind of feels slightly lacking. Okay, I haven't burned it in properly, just 7 and 8 hours, maybe 7-8 hours maximum, but somehow I feel that it is not resolving enough details. It doesn't have the kind of definition with the micro details. The transparency is lacking. And another thing that I perceived here is that if this is the reference point, okay, it has notes that are tall, they have the height, but the depth of the notes is not exactly great. It doesn't have a lot of substance, that is firing under the ears, okay, below the ears. So it kind of feels like the floor is not well defined and there isn't a great deal of separation here. Even though it has very good back and foreground separation, no issues with that, I somehow felt that it doesn't have the kind of air or the kind of cleanliness with the mid-range. Okay, it is good, I will say, but the cleanliness is not great. If we talk about the vocals, it has very good vocals, thick, warm, smooth and comfortable vocals. Very good throaty grunt is there. It has a very good female vocal clarity too. No issues with vocals at this point of time. If you are looking for sharpness, it is not going to offer a lot of sharpness, to be precise, even though it offers a reasonable amount of finishing definition with the vocals. No issues with that. Okay, if we talk about the instruments, they kind of feel like they're slightly lackluster. They are not transparent enough, but they get the job done. As I was saying, it kind of feels like it's not clean enough. They do not have the clean air between them, so that is a point you need to keep in mind. Now the tonality and timbre are very good, no issues with that. It has very good organic natural kind of tonality and timbre, and the cohesion levels are very good. I will even go on to say that this IEM is tuned very similar to what the IE 900 offers, with a big stage too. IE 900 too lacks a bit of resolution. That's the case with this one, and it makes up with its warmth and smoother presentation. If we talk about the upper mids are good. Okay, they are slightly more energetic than the rest of the mid-range, and even though they have a bit more finishing energy, they do not sound sharp, thin or peaky, so that's a great thing here. No issues with that either, no fatigue or anything like that at all. If we start talking about the treble range, as I was already saying, it's a warm sounding IEM, and the only issue I have here is that instruments do not have enough energy in their finishing region. Treble range has very good extension, good agility. I will not say the best agility, because I would have liked a bit more agile presentation here. It is aptly agile, but it's not agile enough, and the cleanliness is not exactly great. Transparency, energy at the finishing region are not exactly great. It is good, but not great, to be precise. So I would have liked a bit more clarity, a bit more air between instruments, a bit more energy with the micro details to the detail we get in between the notes is supposed to be available at this price range, but it seems like Symphonium is not tuning this IEM for that. So it's good, no issues with it, but it's not very resolving at this point of time. The stage though is very big, very big. Most of the instruments in the mid-range and treble range are placed out of the head. Vocals are tall, they project out of the head without much issues. Bass notes have a exploding kind of feeling to them, and they fire in every direction. So the staging and that kind of stuff, the imaging, the directional cues are very well defined. Instruments in the background have very good transient feeling to them if they are moving in the stage. So it's a very well tuned IEM, but not resolving enough. Okay, so this is it. This is my initial impression of the Symphonium Giant, which is trying to be a Sennheiser IE 900 in my opinion. You guys can see this cable, look at this cable is not exactly a well behaved cable. In any case, this is it. This is the initial impression of Symphonium Giant. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Enjoy.